Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel here at Seb's Garage. Today we are working a little bit on every car here, plus the stuff that's outside. Spring is here, we're trying to get stuff done. We got a bunch to accomplish, so let's get into it. In the last video you saw the transmission getting pulled out of this, new clutch radiator and some other stuff getting installed on it. We're going to pause on that for a little bit and get back to these two. I just finished doing some more work on the Corvette and it's just about ready to be put on the ground and test driven. So we're gonna get that prepped for a test drive later this week. And we're also needing to finish all the little mock-up stages of this car. There's only a couple little things left and then the whole thing can get blown apart, transmission can get sent out, and that can get repaired. And in order to do that, I have to prepare engine stands, which are all with my spare engines here. So since the fit engine is going to be going into Jay's fit in the next couple weeks, I'm going to go ahead and get my table cleared up, put a fit engine on here, get that engine stand cleared up so we can pull the motor out of this, put this on a stand, finish the work that needs to happen on this engine, send that out. Everybody's happy, everything's getting worked on. So I'm gonna quit rambling and get into it. I think the first thing I'm gonna do is something simple, just to give me a little bit of motivation and feeling of accomplishment. So I'm gonna get this table cleaned up and organized. I think I'm gonna try to get everything that's for the fit on here, because I've got the clutch here, the engine there, we've got axle and suspension components over in that corner, and stuff is just kind of everywhere. So I'm gonna consolidate everything into one, clean this up, and then get that engine rested onto this table. Just like that, we've got an engine, a free engine stand, and a motor that's still in the car that needs to get worked on. But before that happens, I want to tear this down. Primarily, I need the end of the engine stand so I can put an engine on that. And at the same time, I'm just gonna go ahead and knock this thing down. You know, remove the chain that I'm gonna use on the other engine. I gotta remove the intake manifold. I got to do a valve lash adjustment on it. I have to remove coil packs and plugs. There's a sneak peek of a bracket that I've been working on. I know these little 10mm bolts like to break a lot on these cars, so I am coming up for a fix on that. Also gonna make one for GE, since GEs love to blow out spark plugs, but that'll be a future project of mine. I also have to replace the oil pan on this, because this pan is actually off of Will Parts Daddy's GD. It had a crack at the bottom, so I'm gonna have to put Jay's current oil pan on it. I also have to remove the flywheel. Maybe we should do a weight comparison between the factory clutch and this Clutch Masters one. But I gotta remove this flywheel so that the new clutch kit can go on. I've got ARP hardware coming in so I can get that done. I'm also gonna put the transmission up on here. And yeah, get all this stuff knocked out, put you on a time lapse so I'm not taking up, you know, the 10 hours of your day that this is probably gonna take me. Not that long, but you know, this stuff takes a while. So yeah, gonna get to it. And then probably do Corvette stuff after. I think what I'm gonna do is yank the battery off of this, put that on the charger, finish all the wiper stuff, get the wipers back on, quick jacks go on here, this gets lifted, engine gets pulled. But we're a long ways from doing that, so gonna get to it. Fit engine, mostly torn down. This is, again, a first gen L15 A1. I did practice doing my camshaft swap on this. So you'll see down here, it's got a zip tie holding that in place. I gotta make sure everything's torqued. I got a new seal coming in. This thing looks impeccable on the inside. I also apparently have not torqued these down. So there's some work to do on it, but very clean engine. It's got like 136,000 miles on it. Everything's just kind of placed back in. I also pulled spark plugs, but left the oil packs in place just to keep it somewhat sealed. Parts aren't coming in for this for another couple of days, so that will happen later. Pulled flywheel, inspected the rear main seal, which looks questionable. I might do that. I got the starter pulled since all the accessories from Jay's car are going to go back on this. These cars always have crappy starters that like to hang up, so I'm pretty sure they're all going to act the same. The idler pulley bearing was bad. Went ahead and pulled that. I've got new gaskets for the plenum. Transmission is fresh. It's got an LSD in it, so you'll see that these both turn the same way. I've got the speed sensor from the transmission to go on this. I'm also gonna change the shift select mechanism for one with the upgraded MTech spring. And yeah, all of this is gonna get slapped together and then get put into Jay's fit. And we also have axle, suspension components, brake stuff. I don't remember if he's doing wheels and tires. Oh, actually, no. He got new V730 Kumos to try out. And he's got a track day at Road America at the end of next month. So all this needs to happen within the next couple of weeks. So that will be content coming up. I think next up, we're getting into this. So yeah, once again, got a time lapse you so I don't take your entire day. Get this thing on the ground. Go from there. And the vet is off the lift. Well, sort of, still underneath. Battery is getting charged. That says it'll take roughly 15 minutes. So I've got some time to kill. In the meantime, I'm gonna put the quick jacks on the Integra so we can get that up, get everything out for the engine to drop. So I'm gonna have to undo all the AC stuff, all the turbo stuff, all the intake, manifold, fuel, etc. And then the engine can drop out, and then the trans can separate, and then they can be sent out. I also have to torque the wheels on this before I forget. So I'm gonna grab my torque wrench so I don't forget and put that right there. And I know I said I wasn't working on a fit, or at least the black fit in this video, but I totally forgot that I bought this and it just came in. I have an old school Jace Racing radiator cap that I'm gonna put on here just because I don't really have any spoon parts on this car. As much as I absolutely love Spoon Sports and all this stuff they do, my EK is the one that has most of their catalog on it. I don't really have that much on the fit. The fit does have a handful of Jace Racing products, so I figured this would be a good addition to the car. So let's pop that on real quick, and then we can get back to other stuff. All right, real quick, 1 minute job, but hey, at least I can say I worked on a fit in this video. So all you fit only viewers, I got you covered. Now let's torque the wheels on the vet and then get this Integra up in the air and keep knocking stuff out. Integra is up in the air. It's absolutely filthy underneath this thing just because it hasn't moved in a while and there's so much crap accumulated underneath. So I'll be cleaning that. I got to put all this away so I'm not tripping on the hoses and wires for the quick jack. This thing's been an awesome addition to the shop. I've had this for, I want to say like 6 years or something like that now. Great tool. So if you're thinking about getting one, definitely worth it. I want to say Costco generally tends to have the best pricing on it, and sometimes they'll do like open box items directly through their website. Not Costco, but Quick Jack will. awesome tool. I basically worked off that as my main lift for 3 years or something like that, 2-3 years. But it's awesome. It's portable. You can stow it out of the way. You can still have your whole garage. Great tool. But Corvette's on the ground, blocked in by a bunch of crap behind it. Battery just finished charging, so I'll be putting that in. Before that, I have to clean up all of that and some other stuff behind the Integra so I can get this door open. So, continuing the theme of today's video is do some stuff, clean up a whole bunch, do some more stuff, clean up a whole bunch. Back to the cleaning up phase. All of this is just from underneath the car, and that's not even like a deep clean, scrubbing or anything. That's just a quick sweep with the push broom. So yeah, pretty gross. I'm gonna continue going and get the Corvette out of here. Now that everything behind the Corvette is out of the way, I need to get the battery back in here, the glass cleaned, the wipers back on, mirrors out, and I should be able to pull this out straight without touching the tire wall right there. I have entirely too many wheels and tires. There's 6 there, 4 there, another stack of I don't know how many there, and all of these. So yeah, if you need any used track tires, hit me up. I've got entirely too many that I'm probably never going to burn through. None of them are perfect. They'd be good just to go out and have some fun on a lapping day. You're not going to beat any PBs with them, but let me know, because I've been thinking of downsizing, and if nobody takes me up on them, I'm probably just going to toss them. So I'll give them to you for next to nothing. But yeah, gonna get Corvette back together, get this rowdy thing started. Can't wait for you to listen to it. It's wild sounding after the cam and all the engine work I got down to it. So gonna do that, and then we'll play shuffle cars, get everything sorted, pull Corvette out, pull red car back in. Probably gonna pull the fit out, put the Corvette there, just because I don't want this sitting outside because the top does leak. I don't think it's supposed to rain, but I don't want to sit outside if I can help it. And that thing is not a problem if it stays outside. So yeah, get back to it. Glass is glassing. I didn't go super crazy because this whole thing still needs a good clean. I did use my leaf blower that's hanging up in that corner to try to get the most of it out so I wasn't grinding shit into the glass. I got the door open. Yes, we're still blocked in by the Civic, but I'm gonna try to get this thing started first. This battery's kind of sitting dead for a while, so may or may not need a booster pack. Even though I just charged it, it's still, my charger's kind of older and not the best thing in the world. So gonna try to get this thing started, let it idle for a little bit while I shuffle things outside. So yeah, let's wake the beast. All right, this is my least favorite part of doing race car stuff, is having to play bucket seat and roll cage yoga. Whoa. Well, that went smoother than I thought. I had to do a 27-point turn just because I don't know where I'm at with this thing. It has a roll bar and seats that are pretty low because the owner's pretty tall. And I'm just, you know, regular size king over here. I'm not, you know, 6-foot guy. But yeah, we got some Prelude parts that came in, so I'm gonna pop those on real quick. We've got a knock sensor, which I'm not gonna do currently because I need to do it on the lift. But most importantly, we got the intake tube so we can get that sealed up and there's nothing crawling up inside the engine. So I'm gonna do that real quick, get that knocked out, and then we'll play shuffle cars again. Red car needs to get pushed into that spot. I also need to swing the ass end out to be able to stab it in. I already went ahead and swept the floor in here to try to clean up. There's still all sorts of nastiness that I need to scrub later. Not worried about that because I still need to do a bunch of work here on that car. That car was a 99 EX auto and now it's a Forge internal built ITR swap. I've got a slew of powder coated suspension goodies that need to go on it. I still need to finish all of the wiring for the manual swap. I need to do all the wire tuck stuff in the engine bay. Got to finish AC stuff, and then we got to get into the interior. So there's still a little, and I say little, there's a lot of stuff to do on that car that will be getting knocked out. I'm gonna get back into it just because I haven't touched it in a while, make a parts list, see what I need to order, and start knocking out little stuff while this is getting finished, while also still finishing the Prelude because the Prelude oil pump is on the way. That was some special order, so it's gonna take a little bit. And then hopefully at that point, we've got the turbo kits here and we have to do turbo fit stuff. So yeah, let's go pop that on the Prelude real quick and continue doing things. Civic is in, doors are closed, everything fit beautifully. There's actually more space now here since the Corvette is a heck of a lot wider than a Civic is. And then we've got the fits parked up front. So those are where they're going to be for a bit, specifically the black car, because I'm looking at probably starting on fuel system modifications for that soon, so I can have everything ready to go whenever turbo stuff happens, everything's set ahead of time. But I did have a bunch of the fit engine gaskets and whatnot show up, so I think I'll get into this next so I can actually have this sealed and I don't just have a floppy valve cover and whatnot. I also found a set of injectors that I had serviced for an L series, so I'm going to throw those on this just to know that it's got nice good injectors that tested properly. And then I'm still waiting on the rear main seal before I can get the clutch and transmission in place. But I also sourced all the little hardware for the trans, including the speed sensor and the pivot and clutch fork for that. So yeah, still a bunch to do. Gonna put you on a time lapse again, get it all done. Went ahead and got the rear main and pilot bearing replaced. The pilot is an NTN that came with the Clutchmaster setup. The rear main is an OEM Honda piece. I'm going to use a fishing scale real quick just to get some weights on the different flywheels. Apparently that's out of battery. So I'm gonna go find some new batteries. Be right back. Well, turns out that they were watch style batteries that I don't have, so no actual weight, but I can tell you that this thing is quite a bit heavier than the new unit. So now I'm gonna go ahead and put the new unit on with the upgraded ARP hardware, which is hiding right here. And then get the clutch all installed so that we can put the transmission in place. After a bit of fighting, we've got the engine and transmission mated together, clutch is in, all the new bearings and seals, everything's doing what it's supposed to. It's going into gear like it's supposed to. All of that is happy. I'm actually going to have to wait on doing valve lash because there's a couple things in here that I need to swap over from Jay's engine, so I'm going to leave that for the time being. I also am waiting on new injector O-rings for that. So this is just going to sit until I've got a couple more little things for it. This was going to be the next thing I was going to do, but I'm not going to get to the point where I can drop the engine yet, and I also don't want to try to drop this engine until I have some extra help just to try to keep the paint as nice as possible in this really pretty bay. But I did throw some shoes on the Silver Fit to make it look a little cooler. And I've also got this pretty new ring light here to try to make the shots better. So, wow. Yeah, threw my black chrome Advan RG D2s on the daily. I'm pretty sure I'm going to have this thing sold in the next month. And then we can finally do GE content, which I know a lot of you have been asking for. It's coming, trust me. I want to make it just as much as you want to see it. But I have to dial in still a couple little things on this car before it's ready for sale. And I was hearing a weird noise, and I was wondering whether that was a wheel bearing or if that was just tires. Ends up it's just tires. So I still have to do the trans, which is, again, why this is coming together so quickly, so I can get the trans in that, and that can get sold. Another fun stuff, I don't know, words. Got more Advans in the house. Because, you know, I don't have enough wheels already. These are Advan RC2s, which are a old 90s discontinued awesome wheel by Advan. They've got this really crazy concave thing going on everywhere. Beautiful timeless design. This is one of my favorite Advan wheels of all time. I've always been on the hunt for these. Could never find them. Finally found a deal. Yes, it's a pair. I know. Trust me, I want a set. They're just impossible to get. So if you know anyone that's got another pair or even a full set for sale, let me know. I'd be happy to buy them. But I think for now that these will look really cool on the green car. 5-spoke in the front. with the old school 4-spoke in the rear. So I think I'm gonna try to throw some tires on them. Just you know, something from my stash. Put them on there and see how they look. Maybe, I don't know, maybe they would look cool with some of these. I don't know. 8-spoke, 5-spoke? That might be a little too much. I think the 4-spoke might be better. But yeah, that will be coming up. And at this point, I'm just kind of waiting on a bunch of stuff. Oh, there's no Corvette here. James picked up the car today. It's done. It's home. It's awesome. Another car out of here, finally. That car was also here for entirely too long, but you know, that was a complete engine out. I got together a bunch of footage while I was working and doing little stuff here and there on that car for a long time, so I might just throw like one longer episode on everything that I did to that car. A lot of it was done before I started filming stuff, so we dropped the engine out, sent the heads out, put the cam in, basically like rebuilt the whole engine, put it all back in the car, and then addressed a bunch of other stuff. There was a big chunk of the frame that got cut out and repaired because they had been sectioned in like crap before, and just a bunch of other stuff. But that car was a big project, and I'm glad to finally have it done, and I'm sure James is happy to finally have it home and start picking away at the little stuff. So making more room. Still waiting on Prelude stuff to show up. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at. It was kind of a mad dash of doing a bunch of random stuff on a bunch of cars, but I think we worked on just about every car here. And on the next one, we're going to get even more done on basically also all the cars here. So I'm hoping to have all the gaskets to wrap this thing up as much as I can. We're going to get the engine out of that. We're going to do some small fixes on it. So yeah, thank you for watching and listening to my rambling for however long this has been. And I'm looking forward to getting more done as spring is coming and the weather's getting nicer. I'm looking forward to going to events. There is a Grid Life event that's coming up, I think mid-May, something like that. The Rev Up at Gingerman, so I plan on going on that. Going to that and doing some footage there. I'm gonna meet with most of the Sunday Cup drivers. Maybe I can do some you know, some like intros and car setups and stuff like that, and get you guys up to speed on what it takes to have a competitive car at events like Sunday Cup. But yeah, that should wrap it up for this one, and I'll see you on the next one.